Welcome, everyone, to All Women Driven, the podcast all about women in automotive and how they got to where they are today. I am your host, Sarah Davis. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify under All Women Driven, or you can find me under Beauty Mama Bear under Instagram. You can also find me on the Law MacArthur channel. I'm over there on Tuesday nights for our live stream at 7 p.m. I'm also spread sporadically throughout some of the other videos and some of the early on shorts. So go check out that channel if you like all things Ford, news, information. We got it all over there. You should also go check out the Ford video guy. Tim does his videos over there on everything he's done to his Bronco, his F-150 when he had that, and a couple of other DIY videos over there. All my other favorite channels are down below: Ragnarcon, All Terrain Nation, Ali Dubois. Go check them out. They're wonderful people with great content and information. Don't forget to like and share where you're watching. That is the easiest and best way to support this channel and myself. So this week we have Shelby and Rori. So what team are you from Rebelle Rally?
We are Team Desert Roots.
Desert Roots. 150. Awesome. So we'll get started with something easy. How did you two meet?
I actually just thanked her for this the other day. I was like, oh, on Thanksgiving, I am very thankful for this. But I'm going to let her tell the story. I just love the way that she tells it.
So we met in 2022. Our first year was 23. Yeah, it was 20. So it was 2022 Rebelle Rally. And that year we went through this tiny little speck on the map of a town called Amboy. And Amboy is kind of a cool little town because it's on the old historic Route 66. And I think it's kind of known maybe for being a little bit haunted.
Yeah, it's out there. It's definitely ghostly.
It's out there. So we had one of our base camps there, and there was a small child who lived in Amboy, and this child apparently loves horror films and wanted to portray one of the characters from a horror film. And it was the perfect opportunity when there was a group of 120 women there. So I am not kidding you at all when I tell you this little kid was fully dressed up. She had a mask on and she had a hatchet. I don't know if it was real. I don't know if it was a toy.
Real enough.
But it looked very real. And I had heard that she was going around startling people, like opening the bathroom door when people were in there with the knife in hand, like ready to slay. And so I had actually exited the bathroom and was walking through a very dark, basically like a parking lot by myself. And she started following me. And I have a huge fear of people wearing masks. I don't know why. Something from my childhood, I'm sure. And so I look behind me. I see she's there with the knife. So I just start running. I am running across the parking lot. I'm crying. Nothing is making sense if you've ever been in a situation where you're just completely terrified. And so I just run to the closest table that had people and light at it, and Rori happened to be at that table. And so I sit down and I'm like trying to be cool, but clearly I'm not cool. And
she's not making eye contact with anybody. She's just like kind of like looking behind people like, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
These tears are just, they're going to go away. I'm fine. And so eventually then of course we started talking about why I was so freaked out, and Rori found it to be the most hilarious thing.
I got a little crap for it. I teased her a little bit before she went to sleep that night to make sure she had some extra special dreams. But it was good. It's like, yeah, it sparked our friendship in a funny way, and we were able to joke about that.
Yeah.
And from then on, the friendship was there.
Okay.
So
So,
we're
Rory, was that the year that you were?
with the hatchet.
That is amazing. Like the child really, like, I'm just thinking on a mother's note, like, what was the mother thinking? Like, where's my child?
No, she was there. She was
cooking, right?
She was cooking for all of the rally.
And she's like, oh no, she loves Halloween. She loves this. This is her favorite. We're like, okay.
So like even when Emily Miller, the rally director, was like up giving a speech,
oh my God, she was standing in the background.
Yes, the little kid was just like standing in the background behind her in the shadows, not moving at all, just like completely still. Everyone was like, this is really hard to focus on what Emily's saying because there's a terrifying person in the background.
That is amazing.
It's pretty great.
So Rory, was that the year that you were with Melissa then? Or
that was the year I was with Renee Vento. Yeah, that was the year I was driving, actually.
Okay.
And my navigator was Renee Vento. So
okay.
The one year I decided to jump in the driver's seat, and then all of a sudden got back in that right seat, and I love it. Very mid-space.
So are you steady in your roles, or do you swap occasionally?
For us, we are very steady in our roles. We definitely love to dabble and have fun when we're out training, just so we both understand, each other's roles. But for the most part, she's meant to be where she is in that driver's seat, and I love the map. It's really fun for me out there.
I mean, sometimes we wish we both could navigate. Yeah. I started dabbling in navigation a little bit since Rori and I teamed up, and I love it. It is something that's so new to me that it's really exciting to get over there. And, I learned so much through osmosis, just like watching her process. And, we try and be really communicative about what we need from each other. So I'm constantly calling out what I see, on the landscape, and she's calling out what she sees on the map so that we can cross over to make the picture whole. And so I've been able to learn a lot of the foundation of navigation. It's just the practice, it's like everything's easy until you're doing it, and then you got to put all the pieces together. But I've been loving learning that side of
it. Awesome. I've talked to Melissa, and I told her, I was like, I want to try navigation one of these days.
You'll have to come out to one of our navigation workshops.
That would be a lot of fun.
It would. I need to figure out how to make it a work expense.
We can help you figure that out.
Absolutely. Make a few posts. We got this.
Yep. So when you're going through Rebelle, which, by the way, how did you guys do this year? I've seen the results, but it's been a while since Rebelle happened.
I think we did a 5th or 6. 6.
I think 6. Overall.
Ford did wonderful this year. I saw they took on, I think they pretty much dominated for manufacturers up in the top 10.
Oh, top 10? Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, they did pretty well. So when you're training, how often do you guys train and get together?
A lot.
We definitely try at least once a month.
Yeah.
Is like what our goal is, and if we can make more happen, we definitely will put more on the calendar. But
we typically train about 30 days out of the year.
Okay. So do you live near each other, or is there a lot of travel involved for it?
Both. I mean, we live about an hour and a half, 2 hours apart. We live in Southern California, so
depends on the time of day.
Yeah, even though we're like 60 miles from each other, it usually takes a little longer. But we always have to then travel to the desert. Yeah. So we try and get to place. I mean, we usually end up going to places that are relatively close to us, which also happen to be locations that we go in the rally. So that's kind of a nice little perk for us.
Yeah.
But we also train at home. We do spend a lot of time just practicing our plotting skills, practicing our PSD and Duromath, and then we put all those together when we're out in the field.
Okay. So, as a team, what is your best suggestion for learning communication? Because that is a huge foundation as a team, is the communication portion of everything. So how would you suggest figuring out your communication, the best way to communicate between you two?
I mean, I found communicating like what I see on the ground. Before I used to really kind of like analyze what I should tell her, what I shouldn't tell her, which we didn't need to do. Like, I didn't need to tell her everything. Like, there's no such thing as too much information.
Yeah.
From a map and compass point of view, there's no such thing as too much information. So for me, it was really just like calling out everything I see, whether I think it's important or not. Because her head's down a lot of the time. So any piece of information is so incredibly helpful for her to be looking at the surrounding area on the map.
And stay on track. Like, it's really good, especially as we're moving down the road. She's really good at filling in like just waypoints, and I'm just checking the distance. And yep, I see it here. Yep, I see it here. So, and it's just like, I guess the main key of communication is just doing it. You just voice it. As a navigator, I'll tell her exactly what I'm doing. Like, she'll start telling me and throwing in all these things at her. I'm like, okay, just give me 1 second. I'll explain to her what I'm doing. And I'm like, okay, now give me all the things you see over there. And it's like, it's all about just throwing it out there. Don't get frustrated with your partner, that they're not listening or all the things. So like, there's a lot of information that's always being thrown in the car. So just, it's all in patience and just actually communicating the entire time. When we're not doing those things, I'll ask her at certain points. I'm like, okay, just give me a few minutes and quiet. And I'm like, I'm focusing on numbers or something like that. And then all of a sudden, she knows at that point there's going to be an abundance of information coming her way in a few minutes. So it's just all in putting it out there. Don't be afraid. And everybody's a little bit different. Everyone talk. Some people may talk a little bit more, but just tell your partner that. Be like, hey, I need a few. And be okay with that.
Yeah.
So, but we've learned really well. Over the past 3 years, exactly, she can really read me really well and like kind of where I'm at with things, and she'll jump in anytime I really need her. So it's been awesome.
And we have learned over the years, like you learn from your mistakes. I'm very good at learning from my mistakes. And we go back and we debrief from the rally, so that we can say, these are things that we really kicked ass at this year, and here's where we needed some work. And definitely the communication part was something that I needed to work on, both, just so that I felt like I was more in the game, so we're on the same page, so that I feel like I'm being as helpful as possible, and even being able to just share, like, this thing happened today, I got frustrated with myself and I took it out on you, I'm sorry about that. And being able to just like be super clear in how you're feeling and how you reacted and how that behavior had a domino effect, and being able to see that, realize that, be open about it, squash it, and move on.
Yeah, we definitely got lucky being a little bit closer to each other and being able to hit the desert together. So like putting it out to teams who can't get in the car together prior to, it's just, you just have to talk and actually just talk, be honest, and grant grace.
Okay. So do you collaborate on any other races? Because I know, Shelby, you do a couple of others out there. So do you collaborate on anything else besides Rebelle?
Yes, I make Rori come to every single competition I have, whether she wants to or not. I love being a part of all of it. So this year was actually our first year with Rori being a part of the desert race program. So when we launched the Bronco DR, we we went to Baja and we raced the Nora Mexican 1000, and that's a 6-day endurance style race. stage race, which was so incredible. And Rori was
my first time in Mexico for one, and it was like my best friend's racing. It was so awesome.
There was a lot. It was incredible. It was the trip of a lifetime, the race of a lifetime. Rori is a very comforting spirit. She is kind of like the mother role when we don't have like my mom around or whatever. She loves to make sure everybody's fed. She thinks of all the little things like, did you bring a flashlight? Did you bring money? All the little important things that like a mother figure would normally think of. That's Rori. And so she takes such great care of me when I'm racing. And she always makes sure my hair looks on point.
We're traveling set.
So. Okay. So we had talked before you had raced that together. Shelby and I had. So, how did you do through the race year this year for 2025?
We had a great year. Nora was Nora was wild. It was so much work getting to the start line. Moving into a new shop at the beginning of the year, Brady coming over full time with Shelby Hall Off-Road. These are like big life changes. Mm-hmm. And, all of that leading up to April, which is when the race was. And so we had to outfit a whole shop. We had to outfit a whole race team, personnel. We had to outfit all of our chase trucks. And so, there was a lot that went into it with a brand new race truck that, we had a little bit of test time on. But nothing is perfect out of the gate. And that's kind of the thing that everybody has to keep in mind, that a race car is really ever evolving. And oftentimes you have to find its weak points to make it better and better to where it's this, a really reliable vehicle. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, we had some pretty bad breakage on the truck on day one.
Just day one.
We had to work out some kinks, but thankfully we had enough spare parts. We had an incredible mechanics crew. So we were out for stage 2 while the guys fixed the truck. We still took the checkered flag and the green flag every day, but we just weren't able to actually be out on course. Okay. So the guys got the truck working and, back in shape. We started stage 3, dead last. And so Brady and I switched drivers every other day. So day 1, Brady drove, I co-drove. So then stage 2, nobody drove. So stage 3, I was driving, Brady was navigating. And subtle flex here, I did pass like 100 cars on that one stage. We kind of figured out the quirks of the truck, and so we were able to, change our drive style to fit what the truck had to offer us. And we ended up having so much fun, and we're pretty proud that, so every day in that race, you start the place that you finished. So stage 1, we were last across the finish line, so we were last to start the next stage. So we started dead last, stage 3. By stage 6, we were like 17th off the line. So we climbed our way back up, which was incredible. And we still ended up with 3rd place in our class.
Yeah. And then I saw that you did not compete in Baja this year.
I did not. I was a team manager this year. Brady was racing, and it was super fun. I love the logistical side of things. If I'm not in the race car, I want to be managing the team. I want to be in charge of all the lodging, where we're going to go, where we're going to be. I love creating apparel. And so it was really fun to have that opportunity to manage the team down at Baja. And then we just raced last weekend in our UTV. Okay. It was really fun. unfortunately, we blew up the transmission, but it was really it's so much fun. It's one of those things. The UTV is like that's our family car, we call it. We don't really have sponsors for it. We're paycheck to paycheck building that thing in the back of the shop, and this was the first race with that car. So
Okay.
I found the weak link. I get a race belt transmission.
Yeah.
Next race,
it's on.
Right? So, you talked about coming out for the navigation course. Do you teach other courses and throughout the year?
Yeah, we love hosting our navigation workshops. We open them up both to men and women, which has been such a cool,
Fun.
yeah. A lot of couples come,
yes,
which
yeah.
is
I
amazing.
can see that.
Because oftentimes, I shouldn't say oftentimes, sometimes the men are like, oh, it's just for her, but sure, I'll take it. And they end up, loving it, and it being like a little bit of like a competition between them.
Yeah, you see it towards the end. It's definitely
Yeah.
Yes, and they are having so much fun together. And then we decided to open up to men because they were asking us. They were like, "This is so rad. We wish that we had a chance to learn what the heck you guys even do out there."
Mhm.
And now we get men come and they absolutely fall in love with it, and they're able to use those skills obviously beyond the Rebelle.
Yeah.
That are motorcycle riders and they want to just go out and adventure on the bike, and being able to have the skills of being able to read the map and use the compass to get them from point A to point B is, that's kind of long lost knowledge that I feel like we're helping bring back to people.
Yeah, that's amazing. Have either of you tried Bronco off rodeo?
I have been to Bronco Off Rodeo when they were initially launching Bronco Off Rodeo in Texas.
That's right.
I spent about a month there, really kind of helping train the trainers and kind of putting the final touches on the courses.
Mhm.
But that's the only one that I've driven on.
Okay.
Incredible, absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I've heard so many stories about all the locations and just how beneficial they are, how much people learn about their Broncos
Mhm.
and really get to push their limitations. Oftentimes we're our own biggest limiters, and
Yeah.
being in that sort of atmosphere where you have a coach, you have, for the most part, you're in safe hands. You really get to push yourself to see how amazing the Broncos are.
Hmm. I can attest to that. My mom was scared of my dad off-roading at first. In fact, they went to Wisconsin and took on a harder than he thought it would be trail. And she was like, I'm going to get out and walk up this hill.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of going up this. So they did. She eventually went to an off-rodeo with him, and now he can't get in the driver's seat. My mom,
I love that. Perfect.
anytime they're out, my mom's in the driver's seat. So he's like, well, guess we need a second Bronco.
Yep. I feel like that is the solution.
Yeah, but Bronco off-road really helped her see what's capable or what she's able to do.
Totally.
So, yeah, those navigation courses sound amazing and a wonderful resource, especially for those that are looking to get more intense into off-roading, and go about it. When I'm off-roading, I know, hey, this is the trail I'm following, and I'm typically out with a guide. This is the trail I'm following. I know I'm not going to get veered off of it. So it would be like, I've told my dad, I'm like, I want to take your Bronco and I just want to go. I don't want to know the trail. I just want to go.
Yeah.
And see where I get.
We definitely love those days too. Totally.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
That is, we talk about it all the time. We love that we get the opportunity to train so much because we get to go out, just the two of us, and see some of the most epic remote places that we probably would have never found, ourselves, had we just been like going out on a whim. But because we picked, selected certain areas, we get the maps printed, like a whole new world comes to life once you have the map and you see what's surrounding you and you make, good decisions on where you can and can't go. But we've definitely gone to so many amazing places. We pin it and we're like, we got to bring the guys back. We got to have a camping trip out here or something.
Yeah, just get more in depth. Like you drive by, you're like, what? I want to see the whole.
Yes. So let's see. I'm trying to think of what my next question was. I lost it. So how would you guys recommend women getting into the automotive world? How would you encourage women to be able to do that?
Just in the in the off-road world itself.
Yeah.
I honestly just start doing it. There's plenty of groups online on Facebook, like so many that you can do, women, co-ed, all those different things, and then with your specific vehicle. But honestly, social media is such a great platform just to kind of find your style, even your style off-roading, because there's plenty of different ones when it comes to off-roading. We love to go and do trail rides and like go fast in certain areas, but of course love to change it up and do a little bit more technical. But we're not big into the slow rock crawling type of thing, and a lot of people are. So just finding your niche out there in the off-road world, and social media is a big place to start. You can really hone it in and find your people.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I would have thought of social media, and that's such a great thing to say. So like the Rebelle has an unofficial Rebelle, what's it called?
Rebelle unofficial prepping group.
And that's open to anybody. You don't have to be a Rebelle. It's open to anybody that's interested in the Rebelle. And I have seen, a lot of women create subgroups in there that if they're all from the Pacific Northwest, they plan a weekend and they go out together. So I agree. Finding a group, finding clubs to go out with, and you start getting your feet wet, like Rori said, and figure out which avenue of off-road suits you, what you love. And then you start, that saying of like, you are who you hang out with. So you just need to start putting yourself in off-road situations. If there's a desert race that's nearby, go tag along with someone, be a part of the pit crew, be there to hold the fire extinguisher. Like there are tasks that you don't have to have mechanic skills or driver skills, that you can just learn by being there. And like anything, the more you do something, the better you get at it, the more responsibility you're given. And then you get to be a part of a race team, or you start going out with rally girls and you learn how to navigate, and then you are doing the Rebelle Rally. We have a very good friend of ours who she came to one of our navigation courses and she fell in love with it, and she saved up and she practiced, and she was able to make her rookie year the 10-year anniversary.
Yep.
And it was honestly just showing up to a workshop.
That is amazing. I love social media is one that some people might not think of. The Facebook groups, Instagram. I know the Bronco community is huge in everything. So going back, you mentioned your favorite terrain. So rock crawling isn't your favorite terrain. What is your favorite?
I love technical. Flat out, is like fun, but like anybody can press the gas pedal and go straight across a lake bed. I love going quickly through technical sections. So, lots of rises and dips and rocks that you have to, like small rocks that you have to avoid, and really precise tire placement is my jam. I just like, my face probably looks really serious, but like on the inside, I feel like I'm just smiling like ear to ear.
So for navigation, what's your favorite?
What was that?
For navigation, is it the same?
honestly, for navigation, it's like, yeah, navigation wise, I don't know. I guess like the desert is a lot of fun because I have really figured it out. It's definitely become not easy, but easier to navigate for me, and be a lot of fun because it just makes sense. But I think my most challenging and favorite, I don't know, the dunes. Like honestly, going back to the dunes because I think the dunes are a little bit more rewarding when you're actually figure it out and make sense of it and are winning on those days. It's a lot more rewarding and satisfying.
Yeah.
But it's hard. I mean, but it is so much fun, like getting out in the desert where we like to just open up and do all the different types of terrain. Like it's a blast because I can make so much sense of it and keep a good flow. So I don't know.
Total side note, the dunes are insane to navigate. I do not know how she does it. I mean, I have looked, she'll be like, can I get a second pair of eyes on these? And I'm like, I have no idea what that means.
Her face is a lot, especially, she's very, very,
I'm like, I can look, but I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know how the heck she does it. It's crazy.
So still figuring it out though. There are days it makes sense and clicks really well, and other days it doesn't. But it's all in the time. But I think that
Yeah. So we went out, and I like rock crawling. That's where I've done most of my off-roading is rock crawling. But I got to go out in the dunes, and I told my dad, I was like, I need more of this. I need more dunes. I need to go out there. I need to steal your Bronco for a weekend.
I was gonna say, what did you go in the dunes in?
Bronco.
Okay, in a Bronco. Nice.
He has a big bin with 35s, a lift, rear locker. We took that out with some friends that have a Raptor and tried to race them. Didn't work.
I mean, they're both amazing. I mean, so I've competed in a Bronco Sport, Bronco two-door Wild Track, and Bronco Raptor in the dunes. And, you know, I mean, Bronco Raptor is obviously amazing.
Yeah.
The 37-inch tires, the bigger motor. I mean, it's incredibly nimble for, you know, the size of the truck. The two-door is so nimble. That thing just zips anywhere and everywhere. You know, the short wheelbase, you don't get hung up very often. It just goes. Bronco Sport, I, you know, needed maybe a little more time to figure that baby out in the dunes. Although they have made, I mean, when I competed in Bronco Sport, that was like when they first came out, and they've changed them since then.
They now have a Sasquatch, you know.
I know, which I bet that thing just zooms everywhere out there. So it was the ground clearance mostly that I needed to figure out, but still great. I mean, we won that year, so obviously.
Yeah. So we went to a Bronco off-road for dealer training, and of course it's other dealers, and so we were out in a Bronco Sport. And they're like, okay, so make sure that if you're straddling a rock, it's not going to be too tall. You know, go wide, but don't go off the path. And they're like telling us all this stuff. And the guys ahead of us were taking such wide turns, they were going off the path. And they were like avoiding these rocks by 2 feet. And I'm sitting here going, I can almost guarantee you what they drive. My dad's like, what? I was like, I bet you they drive at least an F-150, if not a lifted F-150. Because then on the way back, they were taking turns super wide on roads. We get back, and sure enough, they both hopped into 2 lifted F-250s. And I'm just like, I called it. But I'm like,
they should have been using their mirrors. Like, as you're going around something, you can look and see how close you are.
Yeah. But I was just like, they are driving that like it's a truck, and you need more space.
For sure.
So the Bronco Sport, like I've driven it. I love the Bronco Sport. You know, it's the old Escape. It's the new Escape. But I totally, especially with hybrid potentially coming out in it, and everything. But the Bronco is a lot of fun. If I were to do Rebelle, I've already asked my dad. I'm like, I'm going to need your Bronco. take it out, because he's like, this is the best way and cheapest way to get a off-road capable vehicle. He's gotten new shocks, a lift kit, he's had 35s put on, Big Ben rear locker. He's like, that's all you need. So
Yeah.
He did it a very frugal way.
The rear locker is really a game changer. I grew up with no lockers or cameras or like any special equipment. And so I learned how to drive with momentum. And then when I got my Bronco and, front and rear lockers and all the cameras, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the cheat button. I love it. Like anytime you're like, uh-oh, we're starting to spin, you can just stop, push the button, and you drive right through.
So he's been to off-rodeo more than anyone I've known. He has been to every single location and driven at every single location. He recently went on a media trip to off-rodeo, and he said while they were out there, they would come to a spot and be like, okay, engage your rear locker, and he would try it without the rear locker just to give himself a challenge, because he's like, I know I can do it with the rear locker. I want to see if I can do it without. I'm taking this challenge. I'm like, okay, so at this point, you need to stop going to off-rodeo. You need to stop.
He needs to go put himself out on his own trail.
Yeah,
he does. Which he does. He goes and leads trails for Supercell.
Oh, awesome.
So he goes and leads a group of friends and colleagues and whatnot. So, yeah. But, so a lot of Bronco talk. Is that what you're primarily driving still, is Bronco or Ford?
Yeah, so I mean, my daily driver is a Bronco Raptor now, Blizzy, which Blizzy has only touched the dirt once, because she's so beautiful that I've never had a new car before, and she was my first new car, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's no dirt in the vents, there's no dirt that will, like on the carpet. There's no squeak. So I'm just kind of enjoying the moment. But like, she needs to be off-road, because the Bronco Raptor is just like the best off-road truck, period. So we did have, our Rebelle Bronco Raptor is named Birdie. And we did have her all last year. So anytime, we were out training, we were able to take that Bronco Raptor out. But she has since gone back to Detroit. So, I guess we need a new off-roading vehicle.
So I may have heard a little thing that you were having problems with the windows automatically rolling down. Maybe.
I don't think so. I don't recall that.
So Wayne asked Tim for help on how to disable that feature on a Bronco. And Tim's like, I'm pretty sure that's the Bronco I did it on. So I'm not sure if maybe Wayne has another one that looks similar.
Oh, yes. Wayne has his own Bronco, and our Bronco is Ford.
Okay. See, and he was like, I could have sworn that was the Bronco I did it on. And I was
They're twins.
They're twins.
They're twins.
So now we've busted that, and I can let him know. So he's like, I'm pretty sure I did that for that Bronco. I'm like, oh no, you'll have that.
Bronco. Same, very similar color scheme. They both had the strop theme that we wanted to match the debut of the Bronco DR. So that's why we had our Rebelle Bronco wrapped the same.
Well, if you need a strap, we have one on the lot.
Perfect.
So
is it true that the new strap Bronco is the Wild Track with the paint, with just a different paint scheme?
We haven't been able to confirm that.
Okay. Because the Wild Track's gone now, right? That's not a package anymore?
It's an option.
Oh, it is?
It's a package. It's no longer a trim level. It's a package.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because our general manager said the same thing. He's like, pretty sure it's gone. And he's like, it's not gone. It's a package. He's like, no, it's gone. He's like, try. Let's order one.
Well, I feel much better about that because I thought maybe Ford had lost it for a second with getting rid of the wild track. So I was like, dude, that car is like, that one is the package to go wheeling with. Like, that's.
So, and we've talked about, because Tim does videos, complete guides, and he actually does a video at the beginning of every model year that breaks down what has changed for the model year.
Oh, cool.
And so he said, based on the changes, he would not buy a new Bronco. He's going to keep what he has because he has more, like the rear locker is no longer a standalone option. You can't get it unless you get it in the package. Like there's so many things that have been taken away as optional that he's like, it's not worth it. I have more in my big bin that I would be able to order in a current big bin. So why would I do that? Why would I sell what I currently have for something that's basically what we call is decontenting? They've taken away content from those trim levels. He's like, I would not. You know, so we're over here like, what are you doing, Ford?
Yeah.
Come on. Why are you doing this to us? So, yeah, no, there are things that Ford does, and we're just like, are you sure? Okay, sure. So you do it.
You make do.
But no, we haven't been able to confirm that. Yeah, Strop was just that tribute vehicle that they wanted to do. So kind of like they have the 60th anniversary and the heritage, and I feel like there's one more, but yeah, they're doing the special editions out there.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So while it is a little bit more capable, it's pretty much right up there with that heritage edition.
Okay.
Just with a different package on it. So, yeah, things you learn.
Learn new things every day.
So, would you say Ford is both of your favorites, or Rori, do you have a different favorite vehicle that you like to drive?
I mean, I guess they're pretty close to being the same. I used to be a Toyota. I still am a Toyota girl. I still drive a 4Runner. There's still a 4Runner and a Tacoma in my driveway. But we have since I met Shelby, we have come over into the Ford world, and I drove down our Ford Tremor truck today. So, you know, we are now. But in the future goal is I would love a Bronco. It's necessary. It's especially after experienced it in the off-road world and in the rally world. It's so comfortable. I mean, they did it right. They did their homework, and Ford definitely put out a really rad freaking off-road vehicle. So
yeah.
Someday I'll have one in my driveway. But for now, we are now part of the Ford family.
Yeah.
Yeah. My husband actually we were driving, and I was like, yeah, I think that's a Bronco. I was like, nope, that's a Jeep with a hard top. I see the exposed hinges now. And he's like, why are there so many Broncos out now? I was like, because it's a good vehicle. He's like, but so many people bought Jeep. I'm like, because that's all there was.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what was out there was Jeep or 4Runner or some of those others, but Jeep was the popular one. Take the doors off, take the top off. That's all that was out there. Now Ford's here. They've brought the Bronco back.
I mean, honestly, I don't even feel like Jeeps and Toyotas are like comparable vehicles. You know what I mean? Like, you don't take the top off of your Toyota. You know what I mean? You don't take your doors off unless you're like rock crawling and whatever in like a Toyota that's built for it. At least what I've seen.
Right.
So like, I just feel like they're not even like comparable vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
I think Toyotas are kind of on their own island.
Yes, yeah, this is true.
It's a different feel. It's definitely a different vehicle for a certain people.
Totally. Yeah.
But, you know, everyone has a preference. So, yeah. Well, it has been so much fun talking to you two, getting to know you a little bit. Are you joining Rebelle for 2026? Do you know yet?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
We'll see what the future holds.
Well, if we see you at Rebelle, good luck. And good luck on all future races and fun that you have. And we will hopefully talk to you later.
Definitely. We have a really fun year ahead. We'll be back at NORA with the Bronco DR.
Awesome.
We're currently designing all new parts for it. So that's been really fun for the back of our house here in the shop. And we'll still have the UTV out and about. And Rory and I are actually working on our event schedule for this year. So we'll be back with more workshops and events, and it'll be another fun-filled dust making year. Always
awesome.
For sure.
Well, we will talk to you later and have a wonderful time.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
All right, everyone. Thank you for another week of All Women Driven. I will not be posting next week with it being Christmas. So our next episode will either be New Year's Eve, if I can find someone, or maybe I'll just do a short episode, kind of do a year-end review, and then we'll see. Either New Year's Eve or the week after will be our first episode of the year. So, last episode for 2025. Thank you all for supporting me for this wonderful year. It has been so much fun for our first season of All Women Driven. Don't forget to like and share where you're watching, and join me next time where we are looking into the past to drive women forward in automotive. Bye, guys.